The public has weighed in on the environmental impact statement draft for the Stibnite Mine project.
And over 10,000 people did so.
One thing I'm very, very proud of is how Idahoans came together to actually take a hard look at this project.
The proposed mine would be located near the headwaters of the South Fork of the Salmon River, but unlike the next drainage over the Middle Fork that Congress protected as a wild and scenic river, the South Fork doesn't have any of those protections.
Well, the South Fork of the Salmon River is a special place.
The history of mining at the South Fork goes back to World War II, but Midas Gold plans to clean up legacy mining impacts they didn't create before beginning their project.
Most people who haven't been to Stibnite don't have the full picture of what's there today, of 10.5 million tons of tailings and waste rock and 2 open pits and the East Fork, South Fork of the Salmon River flowing into that abandoned pit.
The public comments revealed that environmental organizations like the Idaho Conservation League, Idaho Rivers United, American Whitewater, Save the South Fork of the Salmon River, and Trout Unlimited don't believe the solution to restoration includes more mining.
In fact, over half of the project area is outside of this footprint in pristine areas. In addition, what they're going to be doing is they're going to take some of the toxic materials and they're going to be using that to help build the structure for a 460-foot tall tailings dam.
But we also found out that 74 out of 105 Idaho lawmakers approved the EIS and Midas Gold's project to mine for gold, silver, and antimony, as well as a $1 billion investment into Idaho.
Project can bring hundreds of family wage jobs to rural Idaho. And we appreciate that we saw a lot of people weigh in saying that this project can provide a critical mineral, antimony, where there are no other sources in our country today. It can be that critical source of antimony.
Idaho lawmakers support Alternative 2, which Midas Gold created after listening to public comments and reworking their original proposal back in 2016.
It identified a public access route through the project to help ensure that recreationalists could still access the areas that they were used to accessing. It also identified some changes to the road layout or to the power line layout to help reduce impacts. And then another big thing is it helped us put in more practices around water quality.
However, public comment showed that Native American tribes, anglers, kayakers, and anybody who relies on the river for their quality of life, for the most part, doesn't think the EIS has gone far enough to address future water quality.
We're looking at a 7-degree temperature increase, both within the project area and downstream. When we went through the document, we've seen that over 20% of the habitat for Chinook salmon and over 27% of the habitat for bull trout would be lost.
But Midas Gold will take a closer look at the public comments so they can make more adjustments like they did before, as they've worked on this project for 10 years now.
Between the draft that we just saw and the final, we do anticipate that there will be more improvements to the project, particularly around water quality, water temperature, and potentially some other things that can help refine and improve it even more.
Perhaps an example of that are the concerns by the city of McCall over Highway 55 intersection safety due to increased truck traffic, the lack of a hazmat team in the area, and potential impacts to another watershed, the North Fork of the Payette River.
In our analysis, we found that over 2 million tons of arsenic and 1,000 tons of mercury will be excavated during these mining operations, but the Forest Service hasn't done a good job of tracking where these materials will end up.
But the closest town, Yellow Pine, does support the project, and so do the children of the parents who worked the original mine. They want to see the mess left behind when mining regulations weren't what they are today get cleaned up.
Most people, and even myself, like 5th generation Idahoan, I'd never been to Stibnite. And so we don't always feel the need or the urgency that actually exists, to go up and really help be part of the solution up there until you get there, until you see it. And then it makes so much sense as to why this is the right solution.
Steve Dent, Idaho News 6.